All right, folks, John Rush here today. My son Richard Rush behind the camera. We're going to do a review of the 2016 Toyota Camry. This is the SE, the special edition model, so we'll get right into it. This particular car, as it sits, $27,075. We'll get into what that includes in just a few minutes. This particular model that we drove does have the 2.5-liter engine, 176 horsepower. You can do in the Camry, as you all know, you can get a hybrid version of it. You can also do the 3.5-liter V6, which gives you a total of 268 horsepower. So this car actually works well, runs well. Actually, I was surprised that the power that the four-cylinder actually had up here at our altitude. At first, how should I say this? When I first got into it and started driving it, I'm not sure I really knew the difference until I drove it a little bit further. You know, tried to pull into traffic. At that point, you do know that you're driving a four-cylinder versus the V6. But outside of that, let's just get right into the review and check it out. So this car, as you all know, was redone back in, or maybe you don't know, was redone back in 2012. There is a refresh of this car coming in 2017. There was a launch on it here recently in Hawaii. I don't know a lot about the car yet. We'll get into that as we get into that car. But for right now, this is the 2016 model year. It is the last model year before the refresh. What does that mean for all of you out there watching? This is going to be a good buy of a car in 2016. So I would keep my eye on this car. If it's something you're thinking about buying, it's something you're going to find probably some leftovers of. It'll be a great buy. Anytime a model switches over, typically there's a good buy in the marketplace for the old model. So you'll see all the contemporary styling on it that Richard's showing you. This car does come with a spoiler. The special edition comes with a moonroof, a power tilt and slide moonroof, which we'll show you in a little bit. Unique interior stitching and just the way the interior's kind of laid out color-wise. I'll show you that here in a moment also when we get inside, along with the gauge cluster, the trim, 18-inch wheels that Richard just showed you a moment ago. It also does come with, and there's some special floor mats. And for the 2016 model year, there's a Blizzard Pearl and a blue metallic, which you're looking at right now, that is a new color for 2016. So, tell you what, without further ado, let's just get right into the trunk. We're also going to review a Toyota Camry Hybrid next. So you're going to be able to see this review and then click right down below it, and you'll be able to look at online. You'll be able to look on our YouTube channel, find the hybrid version of this car. And one of the things we're going to compare right now as we speak is the trunk. So I'll put the button, trunk's going to pop up. I do have to go ahead and move it all the way up. It's not power lift all the way up. But you'll notice on this car, enormous trunk space. There is a lot of trunk room in this car. Both seats fold down. You can see the little pulls right here. And they just, as you can see, this is why this is a staple car. For those of you that may not know this, if Camry were its own car company, in other words, if Toyota Camry was a car company, it would be in the top 10 of manufacturers out there when it comes to building cars because of how many of these they have sold. Camry has been, in the United States of America, the #1 selling car from 97 to 2015. So, almost 20 years straight, the Toyota Camry has been the #1 selling car. This is the sedan that literally every other manufacturer out there, whether they want to admit it or not, even if it's just, you know, unconsciously, they're using the Camry as the gold standard as to what they build a sedan in this particular market. So, without further ado, I'll hop in the back seat in just a moment, show you how much legroom is in there, and we'll continue on with the review of the 2016 Toyota Camry SE. All right, going to jump in the back seat now. This seat, real quick, as you can see, and I want to show you the nice stitching that's on the inside. They do a blue stitching around the edges, blue inserts. I know it's hard to tell with our lighting right now, but they really do a nice job on the car. This special edition looks good. This seat's all the way back. Going to climb in the back seat. I'm 5'10". This seat is all the way back, which you could put a well over 6-foot tall person in the front, and you'll notice I've still got a good 4 or 5 inches of leg room here. Plenty of room in the back seat, plenty of headroom even with the sunroof, grab handle on both sides. It does have a center console that folds down with a couple of cup holders in it. And remember, the seats that I'm sitting in do fold down to give you more trunk room if need be. So, you know, I really don't know what else to say as far as the back seat goes. It's plain, it's simple. This car's $27,000. You get a lot of car for the money. We'll jump into the front seat. All right, folks, front seat now, 2016 Toyota Camry. And again, not a lot of changes in the 2016 model year. Last model year for this particular design. 2017, as I said a few minutes ago, is going to be coming out, you know, this fall. So you'll see that car in the very near future. But, you know, in the meantime, a great car. There's nothing wrong with the 2016 Camry. It's a staple car in this particular segment. The car works great. This SE edition, I really like. I love the contrasting trim inside, the way they've done the floor mats, the stitching along the dash, just the way the car's lined out. You know, it's again, it's the car that everybody else sort of bases what they build off of because it's such a great car. So there's not a lot else to say about the Camry. It does have the paddle shifters on it, even with the 4-cylinder, makes the car a little bit more fun to drive. Do you need them? Probably not, but they're here anyways. It's a little bit of a sportier feel, if you would. Again, this is the 4-cylinder version. We average 28 miles to the gallon for us driving it, and it is rated, real quick, I'll just get the sticker out and tell you, 25 and 35. So we were right in the mid-range there. If we did more highway driving, might have been able to get that up just a little bit. And I encourage you, watch the hybrid review that we'll have here in just the next few days, and you'll be able to see what the mileage is on that, which I'm guessing is going to be up in the high 30s to low 40s. So with that, going to put Richard in the back seat, and we'll just go take a drive in the 2016 Camry SE. All right, folks, now in the front seat of the 2016 Toyota Camry SE. We've got the sunroof closed. So real quick, I want to show that to you. So Richard will show you real quick. It does have a sunroof, does tilt and move back. It's a great feature, and again, standard on the SE edition. So it's going to change our lighting. So I'm going to go ahead and get that shut, and then we'll let the camera adjust for just a second. Sunglass holder up here in the top, which is nice. A couple of map lights. The way the dash and everything is lined out works really well. The blue stitching, again, is on the dash here, on the strip here, which is hard to see in the camera, but really a nice feature that they've added on here. And I apologize for the wind noise. We've got the AC on because it's getting hot here in Colorado. This does have, this particular car, for that price, for that $27,000 price, there's a $525 option for the Intune system, which honestly works extremely well. As I go to reverse, you'll see it right there. That does not have dynamic grid lines. Again, not a big deal. You can still see where you're going and you can still see where to park, but it does not have dynamic grid lines. But as Richard and I were talking, even through some of our breaks here in this particular video, who is this car for? You know, first time drivers, people that are just looking for a good economical sedan. Again, they have sold more of these cars than anyone else in this segment. Been the #1 selling car in the U.S. for almost 20 years straight. You're getting Toyota quality at a very reasonable price, and the car is literally going to last for a really, really long time. This is a really good staple car. In fact, a car that parents could buy 4 or 5 years from now, hand it down to their 15, 16-year-old driver. A lot of great uses for this car. It's a car that literally will run 250 to 300,000 miles plus, whether you buy the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder. It's just a fantastic car. One thing I want to show you before we get to driving, if Richard can zoom in, the SE does come with a different gauge pack in it. So you can see it's got a little different face to it. Just an added look, a little bit sportier look. Again, a great car. Paddle shifters I talked about a minute ago, cruise control down here. Everything else standard as far as Toyota goes. There is no heated or ventilated seats. Not a deal killer, just something to note. Outside of that, let's go take a drive. One thing I will say about the Camry is even at highway speeds, nice, quiet. It deflects air very well, which keeps the car quiet on the interior. So Toyota, thumbs up. You've done a great job there. Ample room inside. Nice ride. Car handles well. In fact, when they redid this car several years ago, some of the things a lot of us as journalists commented on was how much better the suspension worked and how much more stable the car felt when you're doing hard cornering and things like that. Not that anybody's racing a Camry, but side note, car just works well. Again, there's not a lot for me to say when it comes to the Camry because I don't have to. The car sells itself. Again, #1 selling car in the U.S. Not a lot of other things I need to add. It's the staple car that everybody else tries to achieve. I'm not even going to pull over and give you my opinion because I think you already know it. It's a thumbs up. The car speaks for itself. So if you want a car with nice big trunk capacity, great rear leg room, fantastic layout in this front dash area, it's got Toyota quality behind it, and you get the full Intune system with it, I don't know what else to say. It's a thumbs up for us. The car's priced right. If you want to buy one, go check one out at your local Toyota dealer. Tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.